Okay, we're talking about commitment, and we've talked about this week. We've talked about 10,000 hours, which is the time that you've got to put into something if you're going to be elite. And as I said before, you don't have to spend 10,000 hours to be ordinary. You can be ordinary without spending anywhere near that amount of time. You can be mediocre. You can be average. I always told our players that the worst insult somebody could give me was to say that I was ordinary. That to me is an insult. And if you want to be ordinary, you don't have to spend the 10,000 hours. And we talked about Cortez burning the ships. And that's what you have to do to make a commitment. You've got to burn the ships to your old way of life. What you've been doing is not going to get you to the elite. If you're going to commit to something, you got to burn those ships and you got to commit to something else. In the Bible, Jesus was at the temple and all of these people kept coming in and donating money. And the rich people came in as if we used it in today's terms, and they came in and they put their $100 bills in the collection plate. And then the widow comes in. And the widow puts in 2 mites. And if you look it up in the explanation of what that is, 2 mites was a year's salary for her. And Jesus looked at him and he said, "This poor widow has given more than all the rest of them combined. For they've given a little of what they have and what they didn't need, but she has given everything she has." Well, Coach, that's a Bible story. No, that's not a Bible story. That's a story of life. If you've got an athlete, and in 42 years, I had a bunch of athletes, and if you have one that can run a 4.6 40, and he only runs it 1 out of 10 plays, there's no commitment there. You're much better off with a guy that runs a 4.9 40 and runs it every time the ball is snapped. You see, commitment means that you give everything you've got every time you have a chance. It means when you go to practice, you're going to practice with a purpose and you're going to give everything you have. That's what the widow's mite is. It's not that she gave a little bit. She gave everything she had. I would be willing to say that the widow was the first person that was all in. That was an all in. When you go out to practice or when you go to school, are you giving the widow's mite? Are you just giving a little bit? Do you do just what you have to do in school to get by? Or do you give all you have? With your family, with your friends, with the people that you're with, do you give all you have or do you give just enough? And that's what commitment is. Commitment means I'm going to give everything I have. If I'm playing athletics, I'm emptying the bucket every time the ball is snapped. If I'm in English, I'm going to do everything I can to be the best English student I can be. If I get married, I'm going to be the best husband I can be. If I have a child, I'm going to be the best father. I'm going to be committed to what I do. How does this story, do you think, demonstrate commitment rather than compliance? In the widow's mite, how do you compare yourself in the talents you have? In other words, what you've been given, the talent that you have, and what you give. Because that's what the widow's mite was. She was giving everything. She was all in. Are you all in? Are you giving all you have? Or do you give all you have every once in a while? Or do you give it every time? That's commitment. Commitment means I'm giving it every time. 10,000 hours, burn the ships, put it all in.